Nikki Haley, basically omitting slavery out of the equation of the Civil War. But I want you to pay attention to one thing that a lot of people missed. Well, two things.
I mean, I think it always comes down to the role of government and what the rights of the people are. And I will always stand by the fact that I think government was intended to secure the rights and freedoms of the people. It was never meant to be all things to all people. Government
wasn't all things to all
live
people.
your life. They don't need to tell you what you can and can't do. They don't need to be a part of your life. They need to make sure that you have freedom. We need to have capitalism. We need to have economic freedom. We need to make sure that we do all things so that individuals have the liberties so that they can have freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to do or be anything they want to be.
She's basically arguing for the right to have slaves. And that is a very slick way to argue for slave owners to have the right to own slaves. Nikki Haley right here is arguing that that the states should have had the right, knowing damn well all of them states, all of them southern states, would have kept it legal up until this time. If they had just left it up to the states, slavery would be alive and well in the United States. And I'm not talking about like the diminished form of prison labor. I'm talking about full-on chattel slavery. That would be existing today if things didn't go down the way they did. All right, now listen to this part. Watch to her response.
That you answer that question without mentioning the word slavery.
What do you want me to say?
Look at her face. You see how her facial expression changed? You see how serious she looks? She responded in a way like almost like he completely changed the topic on her. Look at her micro expressions, how like her demeanor and even her tone changed. That shit is crazy. As if he's just completely changing the topic on her. She pulled one of these.
Cause these bitch niggas trying to fight my style.
Yeah,
Beats me, I don't play with them sweet chins. I just, what you mean let's keep it rap?
She pulled a daylight on us. This is an Ivy League educated woman. She has to know the reason the Civil War was fought. Why does she respond that way? Did she train like to not just seem confident, but completely change her demeanor, her tone of voice, completely make her facial expression serious and be like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Like to look visibly confused. And now this is very confusing in light of this next clip we're about to see, where she clarifies her statement.
About something that happened at a town hall last night in Berlin. And so I want to go ahead and address that before I address you in the town hall. Last night I was asked about the Civil War and what I think of the Civil War, what was the cause of the Civil War. Of course the Civil War was about slavery. We know that.
So why did you seem so genuinely confused? Why did your micro expressions change? Why did your demeanor change? Why did your voice change? This is a really bizarre element of this right-wing movement that's trying to gaslight the rest of us and trying to whitewash history and completely wipe it out from our memory. It almost feels like they're trying to convince themselves of the lie. Does she take acting lessons? What the fuck was that? How did her demeanor change? Like she was genuinely confused and she thought the guy was changing the subject. That's crazy. Is this not psychopath shit? All right, look. Yeah, man, I be getting down in the kitchen, man. I be cooking, man. Slavery? What you mean slavery? You see how my face changed? My facial expressions, my demeanor? She did the same thing. She did the same thing. How? The reason why this is so important is because This kind of propaganda is brainwashing millions of people. People that don't know better, people that don't know about slavery, they buy into shit like that because they see her genuine confusion. Oh, slavery must not have nothing to do with the Civil War, because look at her demeanor. Look how convinced she seems. Look how serious she looks. The only reason why she came out and admitted that, of course, it's about slavery, it was because of the backlash that she got. And she got that backlash, one, because, unfortunately, because she's a woman. And number two is because you're not known for being crazy. Marjorie Taylor Greene put in work to be looked at as a crazy person. So now everybody expects her to be on some crazy shit and say crazy shit. You haven't put in the work to be crazy, Nikki Haley. So people gonna call you out when you say wild shit. She really thought she was gonna get away with this, though. This is funny. She thought that because we live in a day and age where people get to say all kinds of crazy shit, that she could just get away with saying that and nobody was gonna say nothing. Look how salty she looked now that she gotta fix her original statement. Look how salty she looks, dumbass. Yeah, man, fuck these white supremacists, man. And I don't care if she's quote unquote pandering. She's still weaponizing white supremacy. She is still trying to brainwash and justify slavery, diminish slavery, add to this narrative that slavery wasn't a big deal, that it wasn't as bad as we think it is. If it was up to them, we wouldn't even know slavery happened. They want to absolve themselves from all responsibility. This is what white supremacy does. They do this consistently, every chance they get. You motherfucker, you and all your white supremacist buddies are waging a disinformation campaign to whitewash slavery. If it was up to these people, we will still be in slavery. And I honestly, in my heart, feel like these people are trying to get it back at least to the days of Jim Crow. Slowly, little by little, people have to see that this is a concentrated effort. Once you see one of these guys make a claim, you see other people make the same exact claim with the exact same words and phrases. If she would have not got backlash for that, you know how many people would have been repeating the same thing? It's like they all get it's like they all get together in a meeting and say, we're going to repeat this on TV as much as we can for weeks until this becomes the narrative and we become successful in brainwashing millions of people. But it didn't work this time. Ha ha. Fuck you. I'm telling you, man, these people, little by little by little, they are trying to normalize white supremacy. Man, this is what these people are doing, man. She's not alone. And this is supposed to be like one of the normal Republicans trying to pull shit like this. If nobody would have called her, if she would have not received any backlash, she would have been doubling down. And I'm surprised that she didn't do the whole Trump thing of like doubling down, like, nah, like we're never supposed to back down and apologize. You know, these proud white supremacists, they're so proud of being white supremacists and never apologizing for their racism. Look at her face though. Look how worried she looks right there. She looks scared. She's like, uh-oh, I done fucked up. I didn't know people were gonna respond like this. She thought she was gonna get away with it. Aha, aha, aha. Ha 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 ha!